Welcome back to Project 94 for another diecast review here on the channel. And today we have one of the most highly anticipated Ford 2023 diecasts for the 2023 season. Here is Chris Buescher's 2023 Fastenal Ford Mustang for RFK Racing. And this is one of the very first 2023 paint schemes to be revealed. And I must say, this is probably the best Ford primary paint scheme for the 2023 Mustangs. This is really an awesome car, and I'm really glad to have it. This was definitely one of the cars I was looking forward to get in the 2023 batch of cars that were just coming in, and this was just such a cool car to see get made here. I'm really loving this Fastenal car, and obviously Fastenal, I remember getting the Carl Edwards Fastenal car years ago. And I think Orlando, Florida, they had like a little NASCAR, little cafe thing, and they had a gift shop where you could buy the 2013 diecasts. And I had gotten that car. That was one of the coolest. I always liked Fastenal paint schemes, but man, they have come a long way since the old days. This is a really cool paint scheme. And what I like about this is you're going to see it during the review. Matte finish. This is going to be a matte finish diecast. Fastenal does always such a good job with their paint schemes, and this is definitely one of them. And one of the coolest things about this scheme is that they actually change it from driver to driver and variation to variation. Keselowski's going to have the silver version. Oh my god, the silver version of that car with the blue chrome numbers. That is going to be such a cool diecast. And of course, they have the Fastenal Bodyguard one, and they just changed the look of their paint scheme to match. This is such a cool car. I love this. And even as just a primary paint scheme like this, without the variations or anything like that, just this being the base paint scheme, I love it. I am in love with this car. It just looks so awesome. Just the hexagon pattern all the way around with that matte finish and just the blue color choice on here. And of course, you're gonna have multiple shades of blue because it's almost like it's shining and it just lights hitting it. This is such a cool car. And of course, the giant chrome door numbers, man. The chrome numbers on the door with that new 17 font. This is just so cool. And what I really like about the new 17 is that the 17 font actually matches with the number 6 font. So the 6 and 17 are the same font. Finally, they fixed that. Because before, they were just running the Stenhouse one for the longest, no matter who was driving it. And they finally changed it to make it Chris Buescher's 17. Look at that. Look how sharp the number, just everything about this car, just how sharp it looks, the number. Man, it's going to be a fun diecast review. So, got the number 17, RFK, of course the Ford Mustang. No new nose for the diecast. I think that's pretty obvious. You have the hood vents right there, which honestly don't look too terrible on this car. It just makes the W, the M, E, and the N hard to read in where industry meets innovation. But you have Fastenal with that little slogan I just read out. Ford Buescher. Then you have Sunoco, you got Goodyear, NASCAR Cup Series, the 75th anniversary logo. You got number 17, Chris Buescher. Ford, Fastenal, Wyndham Rewards, and Castrol. Fastenal, where industry meets innovation. What a cool slogan for this. And not only that, got a cool paint scheme with a cool slogan on it. This is how you make a paint scheme for your sponsors right here. This is such a beautiful car. And of course, you got the RFK little pillars on the side right there. The team identifier stripes. Really cool. Of course, Chris Buescher with the Texas flag. Number 17, you got Mac Tools, and what logo is that? Is that one of those logos from the Gibbs cars, one of the sponsors? I can't remember what it was, but you got that little orange sponsor, which I unfortunately am not able to remember or read, but it's on there. And of course, you have Siemens. They kind of just fit really nice in that corner under the Keselowski little pillars, which is really cool. Got Fastenal. Just look how sharp that looks. The placement of Fastenal on the door. This is definitely one of the cars that looks good with the new number placements. You got Fifth Third Bank. That paint scheme really hasn't changed much, so I'm really glad to finally have a new paint scheme for Chris Buescher. Not a paint scheme where they just change like one or two things and say, here you go. This is a full-on innovative new paint schemes. You got Fastenal, you got RFK, Ford with the 2023 registration sticker on the license plate. You got number 17. You have Fastenal right there. You got Buescher. Fastenal on the roof, the black roof rails, the black splitter and the black spoiler, and of course the number 17 on the roof. Man, I like how Fastenal has like a black like shadow outline to the logo, because if they just would have left it with the white letters, it would have just not looked as good. So I'm really glad they went with this look for this car, for their logo. Would have been cool if they did paint the spoiler blue, instead of just having like it makes a good accent color, the black, instead of just making everything blue. So I guess that works. But I just love the blue on here so much. I mean, look at it. Matte blue. A really nice kind of blue. And of course, you're going to look at the numbers first. So you got the white shadow, the white outline, the black shadow, the blue outline, and the white number fill-in for the roof. And I'm pretty sure it's also going to be like that for the under the headlights and the under the taillights as well. Then on the door, you have a white outline, a black shadow, a white outline, and a chrome number fill-in. But I know the chrome foil still kind of looks like it's scratched up, but it's not used. This is how they come out of the factory. Still working on the chrome numbers, making them better. Got a little black speck right there, but I am definitely not going to scratch my fingernail on top of color chrome, so that's going to have to stay there. See that little black dot? Got a little bit of a decal bubble right there. But let's look at the paint scheme now. So it's pretty much the same throughout, but there's a little bit of changes throughout the scheme. So here's the front of the car. So you have pretty much the hexagon pattern all the way around. It's like a blue beehive almost, where the bees get their honey and their food, except it's all blue. Like if they had done a yellow version of this, it would definitely look like a Bumblebee car for sure, except Bumblebee's a Camaro, not a Mustang. But you know, yellow Goodyears look good on this car. It would have been cool if they went with the white Goodyears, because it kind of would have matched the white Fastenal logos and all that, but the yellow doesn't look bad either. So the front's going to have the hexagon pattern. It's pretty much the same throughout. Let's get close-ups of this, because this is one of those cars that deserves the close-up treatment with these diecast reviews, because look at that. Look at that hexagon pattern all the way around everywhere. The hood, the sides, the roof, the back, the hips, the decollete, the nose. Pretty much everywhere on this car, and it just looks so awesome. I mean, just the way it looks. Now, we're going to start with how the lighting changes on this car. So pretty much, here's the front. You're going to have some lighting, like a little ray of light under the headlight, and then under the turn signal. And then on the hood, you're going to have some more shining light. It's going to be here over the AS and Fastenal, and then towards the window right there. And a little bit under the Fastenal and behind it as well. Gonna have like sort of different shades. It's almost like the light, I'm not talking about my camera light, but it looks like the paint scheme itself, the way the wrap looks, is that it looks like the light, artificial light, is actually reflecting on this car. And here's the roof. Got a little dark, a little hexagon right there. Of course, pretty much normal for the roof and the deck lid. And then on the sides, you're gonna have some light shining next to the little Cup Series and 75th and Goodyear. It's going to be like right towards that corner on the wheel well. It's going to shine some more next to the where industry meets innovation, TM. And then you're going to have like the two lights hitting it. Of course, you have biofuel right there. The two shining lights. And then, of course, a shining light over the rear quarter window. And I'm pretty sure that pattern is going to be the same on the other side. And it pretty much is. Had a little... Ooh, we got a chip right there on the Fastenal AL. I may have already pointed that out, but man, Lionel's quality control, man. They really need to get it together, because you are paying $11 for these. But I do like the paint scheme. The paint scheme looks nice. Just wish Lionel would fix the quality on these cars. And the back is going to have some lights hitting it as well. Over the taillight and then by the Ford license plate. Towards the right side of that, and then on the deck it's pretty much the same pattern as it was throughout. And of course the little 3 RFK stripes and pillars, which whatever you want to call them, it doesn't offend me. You got the 3 stripes, got 2 little stripes right there, the thick stripes, and then the big thick stripe, and it's going to have a little thin stripe that goes all the way across the sides through the quarter panel and all the way to the back. It's a stripe right there. So Really, really cool. It's a thin stripe. Pretty much every one of the RFK cars is going to have that, including the throwbacks, which is... I wish they wouldn't put this on the throwback. Just leave the throwbacks the way the cars actually ran. Don't add any of this, like, team identifier stuff on those cars as well. Because the throwbacks need to be unique. But anyways, that's black, the color choice for that. Then the roof rails are black, just like the splitter and spoiler. And that is Chris Buescher's 2023 Fastenal paint scheme, where industry meets innovation. I really like that slogan a lot. This is probably one of my favorite Ford diecasts in my collection. Probably the best Ford next-gen paint scheme altogether. I mean, just got the iconic... Ford, blue is an iconic color for Ford, and of course that's the color for the sponsor as well. It's like a light blue, not really like a baby blue, it's more like a lightish, darkish blue. Like a sky, like, you know how it's almost going to be like afternoon, it's turning into nighttime, almost, or it's maybe like on a cloudy day, or it's more like an ocean type of blue, maybe, you can describe it as. And then you got the hexagon pattern with the lighting to it. It's a fantastic car. So give you guys a 360 view of it. Yes, man, these videos are averaging like 11, 12 minutes. I really got to get that together here. So here's the front of the car. Here's the hood, with the hood vents. Here's the right side, the dark gray wheels. The right side, here's the back. Here's the deck lid. Here's the roof. It's the left side and the underbody of the car. So that is going to be the 2023 Fastenal paint scheme for Chris Buescher. What a cool diecast. You guys got to get this car. You got to get it. It is just that good. And this is actually, I like this more than last year's. Really. And I thought last year's was not a bad design. But this one blows those out of the water, both the Keselowski and the old Buescher. And the new Keselowski with the gray and the blue chrome numbers. Whew. Fastenal has great paint schemes. Definitely a sponsor to keep your eye on for great paint schemes. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this diecast review here. Comment, like, and subscribe after watching this beautiful looking matte paint scheme with the hexagon pattern. It's such a cool car. And of course, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you guys in the next diecast review. So always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecast.